You're starving for your slice of the big pie, those mouth-watering profits every guru promises but fails to deliver. Well, you know what? Today, everything changes for you. Now, sure, you've heard this before. Big-time profits, automated cash. Sounds like a scam, right? I get it. That's why, in just a second, I'm going to hit you with cold, hard evidence proving how and why this works. And no, that's not a trick. I'm going to show you this powerful secret in just a few seconds. And whether you know it or not, you are just 7 clicks away from the only super secret software that digs into a completely untouched, never before seen, millionaire-making gold mine that's over 4 times bigger than Google and Facebook combined. Yeah, I just said 4 times bigger than Google and Facebook combined. And those so-called marketing gurus, please, if you think they're striking it rich, then get ready for the biggest shock of your life. Because we're talking about a whole new ballgame where I make up to $300, $500, and even $1,200 a day right out of the gate. Times have changed, and you're about to leapfrog the competition, leave those pathetic scams behind forever, and land firmly in that cash-rich sweet spot you've always dreamed of. Now it's your turn. Now it's your time. But you know what? I don't think you're ready, because chances are you don't have the right stuff. And if you don't have it, close this message. Go back to your dreary existence, full of self-doubt, pity, and failure. The truth is, if you cannot imagine life without Google, Facebook, and Twitter, this is not for you. Here's who this is not for. It's not for you if you believe success depends on hard work. It doesn't. It's not for you if you feel sick about ruthlessly exploiting untapped markets and shoveling cash straight into your pocket with both hands. Frankly, if this sounds too extreme for you, I suggest you keep blowing cash on all that bull that doesn't work and never will. Look, it makes absolutely no difference to me whether you listen or not, but it means everything to you. So if you're willing to stop, look, and listen, your life will change forever. You'll discover how to effortlessly make $200, $300, even $1,000 a day without breaking a sweat, and never, ever worry about money again. All you have to do is forget everything you've ever been told about making money online. Because the truth is, you don't need any marketing experience. You don't need to spend a dime. You don't need to create a website. You don't need a list. You don't need any technical skills. You don't need to know HTML or web design. You don't need to do anything. In fact, those things aren't just unnecessary, they're the exact reason, the one thing that's holding you back from success. I should know, because just 3 years ago, I was just like you, trapped, feeling like life had left me behind, hopelessly staring at an empty ClickBank account, and beginning to think maybe this wasn't going to work for me. If that's you, if you're desperately seeking the one surefire method of success, then get ready, because your world is about to be flipped upside down. And once you come to, you'll understand why the biggest fortunes have been waiting for you this whole time, waiting for you to reach out and take it. Prepare to enter a world very few have ever seen, a world reserved exclusively for the most wealthy and powerful marketers on the planet. Imagine how many people would kill for this opportunity. Well, it's yours right now. Direct access to a world that would have remained out of sight forever if you hadn't reached this page. Now, think about how much cash you could be making if you had their exact same blueprint. And what if you had stumbled upon the world's first 13-click software that ruthlessly pinpoints and dominates untapped markets at will? All of this is possible, but you must listen closely, be prepared to take action, and most importantly, stop making the same mistakes. Now, I hate to tell you, but the world's changing fast. Actually, I don't mind. I'd rather you understand this now, rather than lose your shirt to these gurus' products any longer. The world's changing fast, and fortunes will be made and lost faster than ever before. And if you keep playing by their outdated rules, you're destined to fail. So you can either keep following the herd or follow my lead. Hi, I'm Andrew Tucker, a former minimum wage slave who now makes up to $243,000 a month in autopilot income. I travel the world, fly first class, and basically do whatever I want whenever I want. All because of one small secret, and I'll reveal it in just a second. But first, I need you to do something. Imagine this is your life. Imagine waking up every morning with more money than you had the day before, never worrying about bills, and buying whatever you want, no matter how much it costs. Well, guess what? Today, it happens for you. Because you're about to hear a story of revenge and why my lifestyle is now yours for the taking. I want you to listen closely and promise not to tell anyone what I'm about to say. In fact, I've never told anyone this before. It's my deepest, darkest secret. And it explains how I went from a high school dropout facing eviction to a jet-setting multi-millionaire now making over $243,000 a month. You see, it took a little luck, a lot of heartache, and one crazy backpacker to make it happen. My mother always said, don't wait for tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. But that's what I did. I spent years dreaming about hitting the road instead of actually doing it. I scraped by with a number of dead-end jobs, office work, restaurants, manual labor, you name it, I did it. That's when I decided to make it big online. And believe me, I was a marketing guru's dream come true. I bought every get-rich-quick scam I laid eyes on. Courses, videos, ebooks, mentoring. I burned through cash on all of them, but didn't make a dime. You see, it's easy to buy those courses, but making money with them is a different story. You know how that feels, right? Wasting months, even years of your life without progress, struggling with self-doubt, and battling the frustration of failing with system after system, until finally it drives you crazy watching these marketing gurus grab fistfuls of cash with both greedy hands. By my 24th birthday, I'd had enough. I was sick of being broke, stressing over bills, and never seeing results no matter how hard I tried. So I packed my bags and I headed to Las Vegas. I got a bartending job at the Venetian, you know, the one with the canals that look like Venice. And believe me, life sucked. I always dreamed of traveling the world, and here I was wearing a ridiculous costume, serving drunk tourists for minimum wage plus tips. Can you imagine? Now don't get me wrong, a few customers made it bearable. I even became friends with a few of them, especially when a wild-eyed Slovenian burst on the scene. His name was Sven, and he was the craziest son of a bitch I'd ever met. He'd do anything, say anything, nothing was sacred. You ever meet someone like that? Someone who seems to live in a completely different world than the rest of us? That was Sven. And as it turns out, he was the key to my personal freedom, and yours too. You see, there was one secret he never told anyone except me. Turns out, Sven was a whiz-kid computer programmer back in Slovenia. We're talking CIA-level hacking skills. But he couldn't stand working in an office, so he quit his job and made his living as a freelance programmer. I had made a powerful ally in the war for easy money, though I didn't know it at the time. You see, it wasn't until a few weeks later when everything came together. Believe me, I've seen plenty of high rollers, oil tycoons, movie stars, music execs, you name it, I've seen them. But nothing prepared me for the Vice Kings. These guys lived a lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams. A life of luxury, $100,000 sports cars, private jets, and millions of dollars in cash every month. I call them the Vice Kings because they look like European drug smugglers. Expensive suits, gold watches, hanging out with gorgeous models, you know the type. Plus they spoke a strange language to each other, except of course when they ordered drinks. Two of them approached the bar. I'd seen them before, but never this close. I knew this was my chance. I poured my heart out to them, told them how sick I was of worrying about money, how all I wanted to do was travel, and how could I live like them. One of them just smiled. It's complicated, he said. Then he tapped his bag, leaned over to his friend, and said something in that strange language, and they both started to laugh. Embarrassed, I got their drinks. The bastards didn't even tip me. They just went back to their friends and models, completely forgetting about the loser who served them their drinks. But the Vice Kings made one deadly mistake. They figured no one spoke Slovenian, but lucky for me, my buddy Sven was sitting at the bar and he understood every word they said. What'd they say, I asked. Sven told me. The Vice King tapped his man purse, looked at his friend and said, "This idiot's a waste of time. If you only knew our whole business is right here, in this very bag. Come on, let's ditch this loser." When Sven told me that, a red-hot rage ran through my veins. Until he explained a brilliant plan for revenge. And once he explained it, I began to get very excited. Well, why not, I thought. There's certainly no harm in trying. And if it works, well, we just have to see. We had everything figured out. And when the same two Vice Kings came back to the bar, we were ready. I poured their drinks, set them on the bar, and then, completely by accident, I tipped one of the drinks over. It landed right in the Vice King's lap, the one who made the comment earlier. "Oh, I'm so sorry," I said. "Let me clean that up for you." I offered a bunch of towels to dry him off. Then I told him we'd have the laundry service clean and press his suit for free. Then I offered them a free round of drinks. And during all this chaos, no one noticed Sven slip his hand into the bag and pull out a small USB device. Our plan worked flawlessly. Now we had to see what was on it. We went back to my apartment, fired up my computer, and there was the Vice King's entire